Yeah, I thought competed well, especially towards the end. Got a little better as it went on, and so that's a positive in our step forward for us a little bit.
Questions?
Shereen Ahmed, CBC Sports. Nursey, congratulations on your goal. Was that part of your plan?
Well, I mean, it's a little dramatic to come back after 2 months in Toronto at Scotiabank. So I knew that I wanted to make an impact on the ice. And I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean on the score sheet, but, you have to go to where goals are scored. And so I wanted to get to the net front. We had a great play from our D, Nina, and it ended up going in the net. And so it was great to get that goal for the girls.
Courtney Lukatich from Over the Line Sports. And coming back onto such a big stage in your first game back in such a high stakes game, how does that mental game sort of contribute to coming back from an injury? Does it help? How does it affect you?
Yeah, I think in the last few months, like I've felt probably the best, besides my injury, I felt the best I felt, physically and mentally. And I don't want to shy away from big stages. And I knew today coming back, I'm named to an Olympic team and I played one game this year. And so I knew they're going to be watching me like a hawk. And so I wanted to come on and make sure that I showed them why I deserve to be on that team and how I can make an impact on this team and get us back to a winning record.
Madison from Humber, etc. I just wanted to ask, coming back to Toronto, the Battle of Bay Street, you were here last year as a Scepter. What's that like for you being on the other side of the Battle of Bay Street?
I mean, it's so cool. The fans here, whenever we come to Scotiabank, like it's electric. And so it obviously felt like coming home, which was nice. There are a lot of nurse signs out there, a lot of nurse jerseys, which meant a lot to me. Obviously, this is such a small league, and so everybody knows what's going on. And so all the signs saying, welcome back, meant a lot to me. And I mean, this was such a great game. We gave the fans a good show.
Eli Silverstone, Nurse and Sports. Emerance, that was a fantastic game. You've been on a nice little hot stretch recently. What's been working so well?
Yeah, I think for me, my goal is to make sure that I'm keeping it calm for my teammates. And, I'm in my own little world in the crease, and so I can only control what I can control. And so, I just try to show up and give my team a chance every single night. And, I can't guarantee that I'm always going to be my best, but I can guarantee I'll give you my best effort.
I'm Sarah Matt from Sportsnet. Coach, seeing as you're going to be playing against the Sceptres again very soon, what did you learn tonight and today that you're going to take into that next game?
Well, obviously, Watts is an elite player, so paying a little bit of attention to that. But for the most part, a lot of things are still within our game and what we're doing. And so we need to clean up the way that we walk into the beginning of periods, the way that we turn the puck over and how we're managing those situations. And when we turn that around, we'll start to play downhill more. We'll start to be more like we were at the end of the game with chances and opportunities. And so we're getting better. The process has been way slower than everyone's thought, but obviously having Sarah back was a bit of a lift, and I thought it had a real impact just on the bench, the locker room, the whole feeling in and around the club. So can't wait to get back, honestly.
Kyle Kishman, the scorer. Sarah, your previous experience leading into an Olympics, being hurt, how does that help, or how did that help here, pulling from that experience you previously had into such an important part, not only of the PWHL season, but also the Olympics?
Yeah, I mean, you obviously never want to have an injury, but looking back in before 2022, I'd say I probably didn't feel as good as I feel right now. And so throughout this whole process, I've had a lot of confidence in myself and knowing that I could come back and have a huge impact. And I know what I bring to a team and a locker room, and I really take a lot of pride in that. And so throughout these last 2 months, like I've tried to stay completely engaged. Like I've been on the ice every single day, making sure I keep my feet moving and trying to simulate game-like situations as much as I could, just so that I could be ready whenever I got the opportunity to come back. And so I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. And like I said, it just feels so great to be back.
You've also had a very unique perspective, getting to play that first game and then watching the team progress over these recent weeks and couple of months. What have you taken away from that experience, getting to see this team on the ice and now coming back to it?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a bird's eye view, and so I've been able to kind of, obviously, not necessarily have the pulse on the ice, but being able to look and speak to my teammates about what I've been seeing, I think has been really helpful. And like Brian was saying, like obviously the process has been a little bit slower, but like we're right there. And I mean, we didn't have a great first period. Mash bailed us out, obviously making like 21 saves, I think, in that period. But as the game went on and we started kind of figuring things out, how to combat what they were doing, I thought that we did a great job of doing that. And so once we tighten our game up and really make those hard plays, like the game becomes easier for us. And so we see glimpses of that. And so we have to do that all the time.
Thank you.
Hunter Crowther, Daily Faceoff. Sarah, you had the goal in the second, but when it's your first game back in 2 months, did you have a shift at some point that you felt like you were caught up to the speed of the game, or was it right off the bat you felt like you were ready to go?
Yeah, I think the first shift is the one that you're kind of like, I want to get out there. And so I'm sitting on the bench, I'm waiting for him to call my name, and he didn't call it for a little bit. So I was just waiting to get out there. I think probably like my second or third shift. Once I realized it's tough playing your former team too. Like this is only my second game with Vancouver, and so I'm looking at all these Sceptres jerseys that I played with for the last 2 years, and I'm making sure not to pass the other team. And so I think it was probably like my third shift that I was like, okay, I'm relaxed, I feel good.
And then one more for Coach. You're outshot 20-4 after the first period. When you go into the locker room, is it a strategic thing, or like what do you tell your players after that? Is there a message that you're trying to send? What are your words to them after an opening frame like that?
Well, unfortunately, we've been in that situation a few times, so take the emotion out of it and just try to speak numerically what's happening. And that's, we're turning the puck over 18 plus times in the first period. We're giving up too many opportunities in the house, shot frequency wise by them. And we refusing to make simple plays to the next level. Early and often, we're trying to make skill plays. This is what happens when we do that. So here's what we can do, and this needs to be better. And so until we continue to do that on a regular basis, teams are going to forecheck us and they're going to get over the top of us. And so slowly we start doing it. Next thing you know, we get a 2-on-1. We get a partial breakaway. We open up the ice so that our skill can get their feet going and has more room to make plays. So this isn't a new thing for us, unfortunately. So basically that's the conversation in a nutshell that we had. You know, it's fact-based, it's statistic-based, and this is what's happening when we do this.
Thank you. Just one more for Sarah, sorry. Without getting too specifically into your injury, I'm wondering how you felt on face-offs. I mean, it looked like you were handling them okay, and I remember you saying that's like a really tiring part of the game, actually. Could you tell us how you felt in that area?
Yeah, I felt really good. I think face-offs are a huge part of the game. Like our game is so possession-based, and if you can win a face-off, like that means a lot to the team and where you're headed. I felt really good. I mean, they have a lot of good centermen over there, and so that I've played with a lot, so I kind of had the inside track on how to beat them, but I don't know what my stats ended up being. I hope it was okay, but I did feel good out there.
Thank you.
Going into the